Heads up. Here we go. Let's rock and roll this bad boy. What is going on, guys? This is Jay Craft with the Facebook group All Around Pickers Lounge, coming at you live from beautiful Bakersfield, California. Today is March 10th, 2019, and boy, oh boy, do we have a big show in store for you today. I appreciate and thank everyone who took the time to be here. We're going to be covering some fantastic topics. First up, we're going to be taking a look at this year's eBay Open. eBay Open 2019. I know a lot of people started wondering whether or not it was even going to happen, but it is in fact happening, and boy, do I have some big notifications for you. On top of that, we've looked in the past at changes that happened to eBay in Australia and the impacts that it's had here domestically, not to mention, or not only good till canceled, but as well as their quick ship options that they've had, similar to Amazon Prime. Well, Australia's at it again. We're going to be taking a look at another change that's hitting the market out there. On top of that, we have some breaking exclusive news that we're going to be covering, things revolving around Amazon and these smalls, the influx of inventory that I've been talking about over the last 2 months, as well as some changes to shipping that may be coming up. Again, another exclusive story you're not going to hear anywhere else. On top of that, we're going to be taking a look at my pickups on the week, and biggest part of it all, we have an exclusive interview with Jason Deason, thrift trader on YouTube. We're going to be taking a look and talking with him about some of the items that he found in what I can only describe as the storage unit of the century. One heck of a score that he found. And on top of that, we're going to be doing more with him later this evening on air. You're not going to want to miss tonight. It's going to be a ton of fun. So thank you to all of the people that are here tonight. We have a fantastic audience. Those of you who are watching this later, I implore you to come check us out live, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time every Sunday here on YouTube. But I want to first start out by giving a thank you to our patrons. Without them, this show would not be possible. And an extra special thank you to our admins, Pam and Mindy, as well as everyone else in the audience. And I told Pam I'd give her daughter a shout out this evening, so thank you to Anna. I really appreciate it. And those of you who don't know, Anna is fighting the good fight for our country. She is enlisted, and I want to thank her directly for her service. So thank you to the one and only and wonderful Anna for your service to our country. And thank you for watching the show and helping support what we are doing. So, like I said, guys, one heck of a show tonight. Thank you for everyone for being here. We're going to go ahead and get straight into things because we have so much stuff to cover tonight. It's going to be a big one. So, as always, here's our patrons. And again, I want to thank them. Extra special thank you to Pam, Callie, Matthew, Pamela, Ashley, Anna, and Joe. So, we're going to go ahead and get straight into the news today. Like I said, eBay is doing some crazy changes over in Australia. We've got a thing where they are partnering up with a grocery store called Coles. And now there's two ends to this story. Like, obviously, you know, brands partner up with other brands all the time. It's usually not a big deal. We don't think much of it, but there's some verbiage that was used in the actual press release that was put out that kind of put me on edge a little bit. I want to give you a little background about Coles. They have 807 different locations in Australia. They were founded in 1914. They're a very major player within the grocery market arena. Just think of stuff like Savers or Save Mart as far as equivalent type brands here domestically. The other thing about it too is Kohl's already had a retail presence online, so it was a little bit interesting to see this type of partnership. And in my view, the way I look at this as more being a brand play. I look at them doing something like this as a way to get more exposure for eBay within the Australian market. Now, eBay is a strong brand out there, but they're not the strongest of brands. They are truly suffering to acquire new customers, not only buyers, but sellers as well. I looked into the numbers a little bit, and it turns out they only have, what does it say, 40K of 12.2. So of their user base out there in eBay, or using eBay in Australia, it's only 1/3 of 1% of all the people who live in Australia are actually utilizing the platform. So, like I said, one of the things that really stood out to me that kind of concerned me with this whole process was their press release, okay? And I want you to hear this, and I just kind of want to let it sink in for a second. They said, the partnership gives shoppers access to Kohl's product alongside eBay's unrivaled range of new and unique items from tech to fashion. Kohl's joins the 40,000 Australian retailers that are already trading on eBay. So they have 40,000 sellers or users on eBay, which is out of 12.2 million people within Australia. Now, did you catch the key word right there that I kind of casually went over? The partnership gives shoppers access to Kohl's products along eBay's unrivaled range of new and unique items from tech to fashion. What was wrong with that, guys? New and unique items. Not new and used. New and unique. And when I read that, I was just like, holy cow. And we've been talking about this before. And I'm not trying to like drum up chaos or drum up problems or anything like that, but I've talked about how eBay has been very slowly and quietly trying to step away from the stigma that is selling used goods on their platform. And remember, they started there. That used to be their brand identity years and years and years ago. But now they're in a position where they're really trying to capitalize on new. And they've been doing this for a long time now. We really first started to see glimmers of it about 2 years ago, when you'd be on the platform and you'd be buying something, and you would see below it, it would say compare to new, and it would give you the price of it and would direct you to somebody else's listing who has the item for new. So when I see this here that says unrivaled range of new and unique items, that again to me, and this is important for you guys to understand, it's them separating a little bit further away from that used market. It horrifies me. I really wish that eBay would just come with a clear direction as far as what they want to do. Do they want to be a site that carries new and used? Do they want to be a site that just carries new? What is their identity going to be? Because, like I said, they started out predominantly as a used site, predominantly as an auction site. Now they're really not either of those two. So like I said, it is concerning to me. And I'm going to keep you guys up to date on things that I'm seeing that are like this that I feel require extra attention. So I want to also talk about the Amazon pallet situation. Let me make this screen bigger here. I received an anonymous email this week. I can't disclose the source of it. We had talked recently before about the influx of goods coming to the secondary market, swap meets, yard sales even, and thrift stores of really, really low quality Amazon private label and just chintzy stuff from China, just really, really junky items that were really becoming a big issue. They were taking over the swap meet. It made it harder to find the types of goods that I could actually flip a buck on. And I knew that there was something wrong within the system. So the email got passed along to me. It says, Amazon has put a stop to the smalls program, smalls referring to tinier items that are getting palleted up and sent out. For the time being, there's a lot of attention in the secondary market regarding the product. Majority of the merchandise is private label. With the amount of attention it's getting, Amazon is warehousing all loads until things quiet down. Amazon contracts are currently up and new contracts are expected to take place in the next couple of weeks. When that happens, we expect heavy restrictions and price increases. Check back in a few weeks for availability. So that's a little bit crazy. So let me give you the additional scoop as to what was happening. We had a system in place where sellers who had items who realized that they couldn't turn a profit on them anymore, whether it be to factors like the race to the bottom or competitors just basically squeezing them out of that arena, or increases in fees making the items no longer viable to make even a few cents on, we were seeing vendors just going ahead and paying the money to have the items destroyed. And they were getting palleted up and they were getting sent out to a contractor. And the job of the contractor was actually to recycle the goods, separate out the metals, plastics, silicons, whatever goods they could, and actually process and recycle these goods down. Well, what he was actually doing is he was palletizing these items and he was just selling them. He was just selling pallets and pallets and pallets of this stuff. And now he's no longer going to be getting his contract with Amazon anymore because the secondary market is really seeing the impact of like massive amounts of stuff just flooding the market. Like I said, it was more items than the consumer market could handle. And it really shocks me to know that Amazon is still backlogging these items in their warehouses right now because there's that much of it and the market can't handle the demand. I even saw somebody asking regarding private label stuff, and talking to me and saying like, what would it take to make a new listing on Amazon? I have this product I want to do, yada, yada, yada. And I said, it's probably going to take you about $50,000 if you really want to come to market with something private label. He's like, no, that's crazy. All I have to do is get the items and then run the listings and I'll be fine. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, dude, there's a lot of people trying to do exactly what you're doing. And if you think that, business is the way it was in the 60s and 70s where you could open up shop and throw a sign above the door and people would come check you out just because it was something new in town, you're out of your mind. Right now, when it comes to being able to produce anything of value, you need to market the heck out of it. I look back to what's going on with Prairie Grid right now. Prairie Grid is one heck of an e-commerce site. They're a sponsor for our show. You can see them down here in the corner. As good as it may be, it requires a ton of marketing and advertising to make sure that people know about it. Strong brands are still going to need that help to get exposure. So the same thing rings true with private label. And what we're seeing is a lot of vendors who went this private label direction are now having to destroy their inventory just because the market is so hyper competitive. And these brands who are cranking out these private label products and just doing rebrands and stuff like that, they're the ones who are making the great money, especially as more people come to the table. They're able to introduce volume discount pricing and stuff like that to be able to move even more of their product. So definitely something, again, to keep your eyes on moving forward. But yeah, very, very interesting thing to be seeing. And then with this, we also see a increase in Vero activity. That has to do mainly because a lot of the items that were marked to be destroyed were very heavily restricted Vero type items. Everything from, I've seen a lot of counterfeit makeup showing up at the swap meet recently, makeup accessories, and the big one is refrigeration and water filtration. So if you are seeing these items, definitely stay away from them. You can get yourself into a lot of trouble, including lawsuits if you're dealing in some of these high risk type items. But expect things to kind of slow down a little bit. But a lot of these pallet liquidators still have inventory on hand. So maybe in a couple of months it'll slow down. Really hard to say. What else do we have going on today? We have eBay open information. I don't know. I think we should run the interview first. I think we should let you guys see the Jason Deason interview, and then what we'll do is we'll come back. We'll take a look at the eBay Open presentation that I have for you. I have all of the information. If you go to the site right now, the itinerary isn't even built, but I managed to pull some of the registration information, and I have a pretty firm idea as far as what's going to be happening with eBay Open. So right now we're going to be watching the interview that I shot earlier this week with Jason Deason. He is the Thrift Trader on YouTube. And I hope you guys enjoy this presentation. I'll be back with you in about 30 minutes. What is going on, guys? This is Jay Kraft here again for another special presentation. Last week we were joined by Scott Zilk, the bearded picker, and this week we are being joined by none other than Jason Deason, fellow YouTube content creator, the channel Thrift Trader. How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, Jay. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, bud. So I was really excited about having you on because you're one of the few people that's very, very open about the topic of storage units on YouTube. And not a lot of people enjoy being as transparent as you are about some of the things you find. And not a lot of people even know much about storage unit buying as a whole. But I wanted to kind of pick your brain a little bit and ask you how long you've been doing it and what do you think of the experience so far?
Well, in all the honesty, buying storage units, I'm only actually 2 or 3 months into this adventure. And, it's actually been, it's been really interesting. The cool thing about buying storage units is as you're going through the items in the storage unit, you get to kind of learn about the person's past. You get to kind of learn about their life and their lifestyle. And it just kind of tells a story as you're going through the storage unit. So that's one of my favorite things about it.
So 2-3 months into doing that, how long have you been a reseller as a whole now?
Reselling, I've been a reseller for nearly 12 years now. Most of that time spent on eBay alone. But recently I've branched out to Amazon. I've been on Amazon a couple of years, but recently Poshmark and Facebook Marketplace as well.
Very nice, very nice. What actually made you make that transition? Because I always love picking people's brain about, where that jump happened for you.
Sure. You know, when I went full time in the past reselling, I've been a full timer in the past a couple of years, not simultaneous, but apart from one another. And you know, it's kind of difficult to rely on one platform for all of your income. And I firmly believe that it's best, especially if you're planning on going full time as a reseller, to not put all your eggs in one basket, but kind of diversify uh, your selling platforms. That way, you have income streams from more than just one location. Plus, you know, the more eyes you can get on a product, the better. And like when you're dealing with storage units, you'll get furniture. I mean, it's inevitable, and you know, it would be difficult to sell furniture on eBay just because of the shipping. Of course, you can sell it locally on eBay, but you can sell it just as easily, if not quicker, on Facebook Marketplace.
I love the marketplace, honestly. Like when I feel I feel the need to do some shopping, and you know, kind of want to get my fix. Marketplace is one of the first places I go to because you can get some really, really incredible deals on there from people that are just looking to get rid of stuff now, just kind of get it out the damn door. So you do quite a bit of furniture onto the marketplace though yourself.
Yes, I do. Whatever I get from the storage units, that's by far the easiest manner of selling it. And we all know furniture takes up a lot of space, so that's usually the first thing I'm listing is the furniture to get it out of here as quick as it came in. So
Very nice, very nice. Now, another reason why I wanted to have you on, because I know you got a couple of months doing the storage units, but you picked up what I think many would consider to be one of the best storage units probably of the year. And you know, and I don't mean to really overplay it, but this might be one of the best units you may get in your entire life. Honestly, it's a pretty insane unit. Do you mind sharing with us some of the details about what you've and you haven't even extracted everything yet, but I mean just of what you found so far.
yeah, you know, Jay, I feel extremely fortunate, and it was just a stroke of luck. I mean, it really is. But the simplicity of the matter is the only way you're going to even hit a stroke of luck is if you try in the first place. And you know, in this storage unit, in total, including taxes and renting the storage unit for 1 month, so I wasn't pressured to get it all out and very quickly, I paid just under $600. And
That's new news to me. I had never even asked about the specifics before, and that now knowing that I'm very, very impressed.
yeah, it was a 10 by 20 storage facility that went up for auction on storagetreasures.com. And I was looking at the pictures, and it was plumb full of boxes. And you could see a couch, but as far as the eye could see all the way to the back, it looked like it was just a bunch of boxes. But a few things caught my eye in the storage unit that made me pull the trigger. Like shoot, this guy right here was staring at me right in the middle of the storage unit, and
Staring directly into your soul, it appears.
well, I took a look at him, you know, and you could only see this part up of the guy because he was sitting inside of a milk crate and had packing material around him and stuff, so you could only see like from his shoulders up. But it just dawned on me after seeing that most people don't have things like that. And I just kept kind of playing in my mind, like, most people don't have something like that just sitting around. And I started zooming in on the pictures, like all the boxes were very nicely stacked onto one another. And, you know, I saw another box that said Funko Pop or Funko LLC, and it read, it was like a Captain America collector core is what it was, like a little statuette. It was just the box. I could see just the box, not like the shipping box. And so I didn't even know if it was inside of there. But it got me thinking, you know, maybe this person's a collector of something. Those are other signs that you really want to look for when you're buying in storage units. You want to look for signs that person may be a collector of some sort.
Let me ask you this too. Now you're saying you're seeing pictures. So here in California, our storage auctions are a little bit different. We have where a couple of scenarios. One where they'll either roll the door up and literally there's no action beforehand. There's no pictures posted online or anything. They'll roll the door up, and half of them you stand on the outside and you make your evaluation from the outside. And I've been to one or two where they'll push stuff to the side and they'll create an aisle and they'll let people go in and out, but you can't touch anything. And I've seen those two scenarios. But I'll be honest with you, here in California, a 10 by 20 with boxes from front to back that are essentially unmarked, I have never seen that scenario go for under $2,000 here in California. So let me ask, is 600 for a 10 by 20, is that average? Is that high? Is that low? Like, where does that fall?
I'm honestly not sure. I would be lying to tell you either way because, like I said, I'm only 2 or 3 months into this. This is my 6th storage unit in total.
Well, let's just say compared to the other ones that you've purchased, have you paid? Is this the most you've paid, or is this somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, this is the most I've paid for one storage unit. I purchased a 10 by 15 for a little over $400. So I guess with my limited knowledge, I would say that that's about average here. And I mean, I know that it depends from one demographic to another because it depends on your competition. But, at the end of the day, even at $2,000, I feel like this storage unit would still be worth it.
Oh, easily.
But the thing is like, in this storage unit, I found 25 boxes full of comic books. Some of them dating, Bronze Age, 1970s, early 80s. A lot mid 80s.
And we really need to kind of specify to people. We're talking what could be, 10 up to, what do we say, maybe $50,000 potentially worth of comics there. I know the range is a little bit nutty, but there's some big numbers there.
Yeah, I would say safely $10,000 probably in comics. That's including all of the more sought after comics.
They call them key issues. Yeah.
Yeah, like Cerebus the Aardvark. The very first Cerebus the Aardvark I've seen in very good condition, CGC graded, go for over $2,000. And I ended up with that comic and probably about 25 issues past that number 1 issue as well. So I have probably 1 to 26 of that very comic. So, and I've got the very first 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The first one I think is 3rd print.
Most of the ones on eBay are 3rd print of issue 1. There's a lot of comps, and that's a ton of money as well.
Yeah, and the second one, if I recall, was like the second printing, and the number 3 and number 4 of that comic were first prints. So, it's pretty wild what I've been able to find in this. And, also in the photos when I was looking at buying it, I saw what looked to be possible artwork. Like you could just see the frames, and they were covered with a bed sheet. But seeing that Funko Pop, seeing this bronze statue guy or this bronze bust, I had to assume that it was artwork, only because of what I'd seen. What I could see with my own eyes was this person was a collector. This person took care of their stuff. This person took a lot of care packing this storage unit in the manner that they did. None of the boxes were really crushed. A lot of the boxes were brand new, purchased from Lowe's to pack up this stuff. So, that's something else that I took into consideration when bidding on this unit.
I wouldn't even go as far as what you said with a stroke of luck. Now, obviously, there was a bit of extra that came with this unit, but for me, luck has always been opportunity meeting preparation, and I really think that the preparation you had there, knowing. Like when I see these types of indicators, quality boxes, what looks like artwork, a bronze or cast iron type figure, that there's something there. And what you saw, I don't think many others did. I mean, anyone else could have technically, been there and bid against you, but I think you took an opportunity and made the most of it.
Well, here's the thing. On typical storage units, you don't really want to put much of an evaluation on just a box because you simply don't know what's in that box. Okay. And a lot of people, just seeing a whole bunch of boxes scares them away because it's the uncertainty, the unknown. Like a lot of people, what they'll do bidding on storage units is they'll take what they can see with their bare eyes and they'll evaluate what they can see, and that's their top bid.
See, here in California, we have a gambling problem out here, and the people that we go against, they'll count the number of boxes and they'll say, I could probably spend at least $50 a box. There's got to be at least $50 in each one of those boxes, and they will bid that way, and then anything over is a win and anything under is a loss. And there's people that are going to be watching this right now and saying, yep, that is exactly what he's talking about. This is exactly how it works here on the West Coast.
Yeah, and it's very possible. I mean, if that was the case, Jay, there was probably 150 boxes in this storage unit, so you could do the math.
The 150 boxes would have comfortably been probably a $4,000 bid out here. If we're talking like, medium to large size Lowe's boxes, yeah. It would have eaten $4, $5, $6 grand, no problem.
Right. And see, here's the thing, by evaluating what you can see, take into consideration what you can't see. So, for instance, this bronze bust of a Roman soldier, okay, you can see that with your own eyes. Now you have to start questioning yourself, what kind of people were these people? What were they into? Did they collect things? Is there, at that point you can kind of start to realize that the potential of valuable items inside the boxes goes up versus going down. If you see like a tricycle missing a wheel, and that's all you can see, and there's 10 other boxes, you can assume that, you're probably looking at junk in those boxes for the most part.
It's probably going to be a scrap unit.
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. Now, you went ahead and did us the wonderful service of grabbing a few other items from that unit, and you got them there with you. What are we going to be able to take a peek at today?
Yeah. Okay. So I actually showed these on my my last YouTube video that I posted. There's about 10 or 12 of these giant size comics, and this one, for instance, is issue 6 of the Marvel Treasury Edition, Doctor Strange. Let me see if I can find a date on here. This is copyright 1975. So this is mid 70s. Here's issue 4, Conan the Barbarian. We've got issue 9 here, issue 11.
Now, are people going to be cringing the fact that these aren't in, cardboard protectors, cellophanes?
Well,
you're touching them with your bare hands. Or what type of value are we looking at with these?
I think we're looking somewhere around $30 to $50 per comic in the condition that they're in. Like here's number 1.
Whoa.
This is Savage Fists of Kung Fu.
The color on that is amazing. For its age.
The thing is that this was copyright 75 as well. The thing is they were just stored in a box, and gosh, the way they look, I would assume that they just stayed in that box forever and ever. So, I mean, they're not, CGC 9.8s or anything like that. They're probably 7.5 to 8.5 if I was to guess. I don't know anything about comic book grading, but I would assume that's probably where they're at. But for their age, I would consider it in pretty darn good condition for not being bagged and boarded. I don't even know if you can bag and board these giant
they make
size.
them. They got oversized bag and boards. Yeah.
Well, good. I need to get some.
If there's something to be protected, there's a protector made for it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is they came out of the storage unit this way, and I have not ran across bag and boards that are large enough. And I just pulled these out just a couple of days ago. So I need to get to the comic shop and get some stuff to protect these for sure. So
100%. Now, there was a bunch of other stuff that you found in there, and you even found some stuff that caused a little bit of ripple, a little bit of questioning. But you're a man of integrity. What was the big score that came out of that unit that really got everyone's attention?
That right there was the big score.
So for those who are listening along, tell everyone what you found.
A lot of gold jewelry, and it just blew my mind. Honestly, we found gold in three separate occasions in this storage unit. Found a good lump of gold jewelry in one box pretty early on, digging into the unit, and then towards the end of the unit, we found another several jewelry boxes which had several pieces of gold. The first find was strictly just rings. And then, of course, I got to thinking to myself, there is a possibility of running across necklaces and bracelets and earrings because we didn't find any of that. We found just rings. And so later on, towards the back end of the unit, we ran across more of these jewelry boxes. And it just so happened to be necklaces and bracelets and earrings. So we found, so far right now, I need to get it tested. They are, out of everything that is stamped, I weighed it, not troy ounces, but just regular ounces. We're looking a little over 8 ounces right now. So
That is absolutely insane.
yeah, and I wasn't anticipating finding this, and I know that it's pretty common. It's fairly common to find gold, but not this much in a storage unit.
Yeah, you might find one or two pieces, and maybe in the back of a backpack or tucked in the back of a drawer.
Sure.
But you won't find that much at any given time. So I'm looking up right now. Gold per ounce right now, it's about almost $1,300 an ounce. So we're looking at a little over $10,000 worth of gold.
Well, if you take that $1,300 and you divide it by 24 and you multiply it by 14, that's what 14 karat melt would be.
Okay. And now, is the majority of what you got 14 karat?
Majority of it, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But did you get some higher karat stuff in there as well?
I think I've got one or two pieces that are 18 karat, but nothing higher than that. But
okay.
See, some of these things I think are likely worth more than their weight in gold. Like, for instance, this opal princess
that is
ring.
Beautiful.
And it stands really tall. Something like this I would feel is probably worthy of appraisal rather than selling it just for its weight in gold. And here's one more piece, probably one of my favorites, if I can find it real quick. Where is it? Right here. This ring, I don't know if it's zooming in or not.
May need to put your hand behind it. Put your other hand right behind it, and then it'll help the camera. Autofocus. Nope. Well, we can add it in, and we'll add it in post-production.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, it's the gold is kind of shaped somewhat like a vine, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diamonds and what looks to be a blue gemstone of some sort. I wish I could show you guys that. But,
it looks to be sapphire.
It looks lighter than blue sapphire.
Maybe what's it called?
Yeah, I'm not.
We'll figure it out.
But I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just mind blowing. And since finding this storage unit, the other 5 storage units that I've purchased, 2 of them I would consider kind of a bust. One of them, not one of those 2. I mean, I made my money back, but the other one was definitely a bust. And I sure wish that I would have posted that on YouTube just to show everybody that it's not always, gold and diamonds. I bought this storage unit a month prior for $50, and essentially what I did was I paid $50 to haul a bunch of trash off.
Yep, and we've been there. I used to buy units myself as well, and it's not always that way. And I can say that I've been a part of the sale of probably 400 units. Buying either portions or the entirety of units, and I only ran across gold maybe 3 times out of all of those portion units that I was a part of. So you're fine. I really do mean this. I don't want to say it's all downhill from here, but you may be on your best unit you'll see in your entire life. It is very, very impressive.
It's quite possible, Jay. I feel very fortunate that I struck this kind of unit early on. As my papa says, I'm I'm spoiled. I'm hooked forever. You know, like I'll be chasing this style of unit for the rest of my life, which is quite possible. But you know, since this discovery and since I started getting into storage units, I've been trying to, preach to people that the importance of diversifying your source of inventory, um, because as time goes on, thrift stores, for instance, people that solely rely on thrift stores for their inventory to resell. Thrift stores are getting smarter and smarter every day. At least the people that run these thrift stores, Goodwill Industries of America, they're getting smarter, and the things that come through their back door of significant value or that have a potential of decent value, a lot of it isn't even getting put on the floor for purchase anymore. It's literally staying in the hands of Goodwill Industries, and they're selling it online on their own auction platform. So, I mean, as time goes on, it's going to become harder and more difficult to find, you know, valuables or even extreme valuables in a thrift store. I'm not saying it's not possible. I know it is. I mean,
is that what drove you out of the thrift stores? Because I've been experiencing that for a little while here. In my old town and where I moved to now, it felt like each trip, each month, started becoming more and more difficult to just do. I would even say the minimum, just to be able to go out and find $100 or $150 worth of profits. It used to go from I could quickly power through a store, get the easy finds, get in the car and be on my way. But now I feel I'm being very meticulous and coming out almost empty-handed.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I still like to go to the thrift store. But for the most part, I just simply don't have the time.
I don't even find it worth the time anymore. I was telling that to Daniel. We went out to two of them earlier today, and I told him, I think I could be doing almost anything other than going to a thrift store and making more money.
Well, yeah, as far as, the type of money that you're going to make, finding things at garage sales and finding things at swap meets, you stand a much better chance these days of finding higher valuables. Something that's going to sell for $150 plus on eBay is it's becoming more impossible to find in a thrift store unless you're just the lucky person that's standing there as they wheel out the rack.
Or if you're working in the back, which we've been seeing a lot more of that happening with goods walking out the back door before they make it to the front door.
Yeah. I can't shame anyone for creating a working relationship with a manager of a thrift store. That's their deal. That's their business. I think it's smart to create a working relationship with the manager of a thrift store if it secures, good sellable product for you. By all means,
I'm talking on the employee level. We had issues with that here in Fresno where inventory was not even making it to the shelves. And one of the worst things I'd ever seen, I don't even know if I talked about it on the show, is I saw an employee bringing inventory out and he was sticking stuff inside of purses when he was unloading the bin. And then as soon as he got off the clock, he would walk right over to the purses, pull the stuff out, and then go up to the register and buy it. And he was the same person in charge of pricing it. And it just created this really, really foul dynamic to try and get work in.
That's pretty bad. I mean, as far as I understand it, at least the thrift stores around here, I don't believe that any of the employees are allowed to shop in the same store that they work in, which it would be that would kind of put a stop to it.
I've seen employees have their girlfriends come in too. Little workarounds, kind of turn the blind eye, but that's neither here nor there. So you've been doing the store just 3 months. You're absolutely crushing it on this unit. Do you have any other goodies around you right now that you think we would get a little hoot out of? I know you had some Dungeons and Dragons action that happened.
Yeah, I got some of that. Okay, so here's a few Dungeons and Dragons. This is a rule book here.
Not just any rule book.
Yeah, this one is, I can't even remember what I priced it at. I think it was somewhere around the $50 range. This is copyright 1976. The same here, okay? And the same here. They're just supplement rule books. But this right here was, this is right before Dungeons and Dragons. It's called Chainmail. and it's Rules for Medieval Miniatures. Okay, second edition. This book alone, the last time it was sold on eBay, sold for $485. And
Wow.
sorry, $465. Um, and it's just, I don't know, it's magnificent when you find something like this. You just tell yourself, that storage unit could have been completely wiped out, and the only thing laying on the floor was this.
Mm-hmm.
It would have paid for the storage unit.
And you know what's really, really bothersome is that there's people out there that don't take the time to be diligent about stuff like that and would have seen what they could have deemed as an old pamphlet, just some old book with games and just some old nothing. And I guarantee you there's someone somewhere who's pulled that out of a unit and has thrown it directly in the trash. So I applaud your diligence.
Oh my gosh! Don't even. Oh my goodness!
Every time I go to a storage unit, I go through the dumpster. I'll jump right over the edge. I'll look in, and I will always find stuff. People throw away great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it. I absolutely do believe it. This is the last piece of Dungeons and Dragons, at least in this lot that I just recently am getting ready to sell. This is the very first rules book for Dungeons and Dragons. First issue. They have the white box of this rule book, and then they have the wood grain box. Just to give you an idea, this very wood grain box in the first printing sold for $22,000. It was in much better condition than this one is, but it sold for $22,000. This one is the third printing, and it's not in the greatest condition as we can all see, but the books are in quite good shape because they were left in this box. We're looking somewhere around the $5,000 range just for these books here.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Who do we have joining us today?
Oh, this is my buddy Jared.
Oh.
How you doing, Jared? We're shooting an interview right now. Are you in the reseller community as well?
I am not. I wish I had the time. I love enjoying watching Jason do all the crazy things he does. This has been one hell of a find.
Yeah,
But,
it's something special.
It really is. This is amazing. I hope people are learning from it and not expecting too much, because holy crap, did he get lucky this time?
It's a really special unit.
Yeah.
So Jason, you ended up acquiring about 150 boxes in total. How many of these boxes so far have you gone through and actually gotten processed and started working through?
I've actually, as far as the boxes, I've went through around, I'd say 80% of the unit. Now, that doesn't mean I haven't sat down and actually figured out, the valuation of everything. But I know what's in 80% of the unit so far.
So there's still a chance for more big finds.
There's still a chance.
You know what you should do? You should leave that last 20%. Don't even open them. What you do is you take them, you keep them boxed up, you tuck them away in a garage, and every time you buy a crummy storage unit and you think, man, did I waste my time on that? You go and you grab one of those boxes, treat yourself.
It's been Christmas every day for the past 2 weeks. It's been pretty cool.
Yeah, you don't want to overdo it. You want to ration that out, because like I said, it's going to be a rare day before another one of those comes along. But I'll tell you, I'll be rooting for you. I'll be rooting for you every single day to get another one like that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Jason, how can people get in touch with you? Because I know you've documented some of this story on a YouTube channel, the Thrift Trader. How can people get in touch to be able to see all of your content, everything that's going on?
Yeah, sure. On Instagram, I am thrift_trader. On Facebook, I run a Resellers Anonymous Facebook group. So that's, I kind of had a play on words, Resellers Anonymous. Resellers Anonymous. It's kind of like, someone that's a reseller that's got an addiction to it, So.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I'm definitely addicted to reselling, so I just thought it was a cool name for a Facebook group. And we're almost 7.5 thousand members strong there and growing. So it's been a blast. I enjoy everyone that's in my reseller group. I can always count on them. If I'm staring down the barrel of something, I have no idea what it is. I'll just snap a few pictures and be like, guys, what is this thing? And 20 people will comment. So it helps out tremendously.
That's fantastic. And the Thrift Trader YouTube channel, how long have you been doing the YouTube programs?
Yeah, the beginning of 2018, I made a promise to myself that I would start a YouTube channel, because for many years I had just sat on the back end and watched all these resellers, doing YouTube, and I thought it was the coolest thing. Like, I was watching Steve Rakin when he was, digging in the thrift store for men's blazers. That's how long ago, and I was there when Casey Paris started his channel and stuff. I watched them all go from start to finish to what it is today. And, I feel like I'm a sociable enough guy to be able to accomplish it. It was something kind of a fear inside of me of cameras, like literally staring into a camera and talking to a camera just felt really awkward to me for the longest time. But the simplicity of it is you have to realize what's on the other side of that camera, and you just have to go for it. That's the only way that you're going to get out of your box, out of the shell, kind of overcome your fear, is just to do it. So.
I tell people this, and maybe you can, agree with my philosophy on it. I tell people that once you've learned how to just dead eye, look straight into a lens and feel confident about what you're saying, that you end up becoming a different person. The person who would be on the other side of the camera, once you become the person on the front side of the camera, I tell people I think it really changes you and the way you're able to communicate and your own self-confidence.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's definitely it's a different beast, I mean, a lot of people have fear of heights, which I do as well. A lot of people have a fear of standing in front of a crowd of 300 people and talking about something, which I do as well. I have a fear I still need to overcome the fear of taking my video camera out into public and like have it right in my own face and just recording and not caring what anyone else around me thinks. Like, I still have that fear, and it's still something that I'm working towards overcoming.
It's a real anxiety.
It is.
Yeah, it puts you out there, because it's not like I'm over here just making a little recording of myself. It's saying, hey, everyone, I've got a camera, and I'm filming things, and I believe I am this important to be doing this.
Well, I don't know if it's an important...
The perception.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I mean, the thing is like overcoming the thought of what everyone else around you is thinking about you in that very moment. Like, personally for me, if I see someone walking around with a camera in their own face, I might be like, man, that guy's got it going on. But someone else is going to be like, that guy is weird. You just have to forget about what anybody else thinks. And just do it.
And the other thing about it too is it feels like you're the only person in your town who does that as well. Because I've yet to run into another person with a camera out in front of them, and I live in a town 500,000 people, and I just don't bump into it.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of YouTube creators that don't go out in public in the middle of a crowd and do YouTube videos, and that's fine. But really, in order to catch like the awesomeness of what you do, if you want to catch every moment in your reselling life, like what it is from start to finish, like you're gonna have to, because thrift stores are a public place. Auctions are a public place. The swap meet is a public place. Garage sales are a public place. So, I mean, you're just gonna have to do it, and I'm still trying to overcome that fear.
Well, like I said, I'm hoping to come out there sometime over the next year or so. I want to start traveling and thrift in America. So when I work my way out there, I'll make sure I bring a bunch of cameras and lights, and we make it as awkward and as uncomfortable as possible for everyone involved, okay?
That works for me.
Okay. Hey, I want to thank you so much for being on. And if you guys enjoyed this content, please go check out Jason's channel. Fantastic content. Thank you so much for being on air with me today, buddy.
Hey, not a problem, Jay. Thank you for having me.
We'll talk soon. What is going on, guys? I'm back here again. I didn't want anyone thinking that the video was ending just because we had that outro, even though some of you thought that the video ended because we had that little bit of an outro. I noticed the numbers dropped down right away. But yeah, what a fantastic little interview with the one and only. Let me fix my comments here. I see that they're not scrolling appropriately anymore. Let me get that fixed really quick. Testing. Sometimes we have a little bit of issues with the comment box on screen, and we still haven't exactly figured out what's causing it, but hopefully we can get it refreshed. Nope, it still looks like it's a little stuck. We're gonna get that figured out. But yeah, what do you guys think of that interview? Did you guys enjoy it? Did it tickle your fancy? Did you learn something new? I'm sorry, give me a second. I'm still trying to sort this out. 1, 2, and 3. Maybe we got a tech specialist somewhere who can sort out what the heck is going on and why it's doing that. I don't know, guys. We'll get to it. If somebody wants to try and drop a comment, see if we can bump this bad boy along, it would be appreciated. But yeah, that was the one and only Jason Deason. And those of you who don't know, we are actually doing a special show later this evening. I appreciate you trying to bump it. It's still not moving on here. What is going on? Let me try hiding this again real quick, see if we can just reload it. There we go. Look at that. We got it fixed. Thank you, Pam, for your help. I appreciate that. So where was I, guys? So sorry about that. Let me just get everything situated again. We are doing a special show tonight. It is the Late Late Show with Jason and Jay, and what we are going to be doing for this premiere episode, and probably for a lot of the future ones, is we are going to be taking a look at storage units across America. We're going to be pulling up listings online of available storage units in your town, and we're going to be letting you know about what we think about those units. We're going to be looking for visual cues, just like we did, or just like we were talking about with the unit that he bought. Now, I have a experience in buying units. Some of the people that are going to be joining in have experience as well. This show tonight is probably going to be running till about 7 o'clock-ish Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central Time. And then we're going to take about a 20 or 30-minute intermission to get everything set up for me and Jason. And then we are going to be jumping back on live again on this channel for a second show. So that'll be nice. That'll be fun. So if you're interested in learning more about storage units, maybe you've thought about going out and buying one, maybe you have some questions about the process and you'd like to pick our brains a little bit, it'll be a fun night. And it's also going to be a very casual thing too. We're not going to be very high strung. It's just going to be us hanging out, talking about units, catching up on reseller stuff. If you're a content creator as well and you'd like to jump in on the discussion, we have room for 2 more guests to join us this evening. I got my eye pointed at you, Tracy Thrift, and if anyone else wants to jump in too, we would be happy to have you. So, like I said, go subscribe to his channel. Go check him out. Let's get back to the news, guys. We just talked about what was going on with the Amazon stuff. Now we're going to take a look at eBay Open. Guys, eBay Open's coming up. And, you know, I've never been to one before, ever. And you would think that with all the years that I've been doing eBay, that I would have at least moseyed my way on over and checked one out. But wait, guys, I got a big announcement. I'm going to be at eBay Open 2019 this year, and I am very, very excited about it. And I'll tell you why. Because I am going to bring you, the viewer, the most comprehensive coverage you have ever seen of an eBay Open on YouTube. I'm working hand in hand with eBay to try and gain some additional access to the event that's not going to be provided to just members of the general public, people who just naturally sign up. I'm applying to try and get a little bit more behind the scenes of what's going on, and I will be producing many videos on the topic as well as many live shoots direct from eBay Open 2019. I will be attending every single event that eBay is going to be hosting at eBay 2019. I will do my best to be able to stream from the event. If I'm given clearance, I will be streaming from the event. Not all channels will be given clearance. I don't think, no rubbing any other channels the wrong way, but I don't think any other channels will be streaming or have clearance to stream at those events, but I really want to stream and capture as much content as I can. But at a minimum, I will be doing live videos directly after each panel closes up, giving my initial impressions on what I think. And then at the end of each night, I will be doing a live show covering all of the topics for the full day, as well as having other guests coming and joining me. I will be meeting up with a lot of other YouTube content creators, and we are going to be creating a podcast studio in Las Vegas for this year's eBay Open, and you will be seeing some very late evening content, probably 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, where we're going to be going on air and we're going to be talking about all things eBay Open all night long until the next day. Now, it's an important thing for you guys to know. This is absurdly expensive to be able to do what we are doing because, I've gathered a lot of extras to be able to make this happen. We're going to be needing a bunch of new camera equipment. The room that we are getting is prohibitively expensive to be able to set up a podcast studio within. Obviously, we have travel expenses, ticket expenses, and stuff like that. So our channel has just recently reached a point where we are going to be able to monetize. And what that basically means is that when you tune in here in the future, you may be seeing an ad before your content starts. Now, that ad is to allow us to be able to make a couple of bucks to help offset this. And you're going to be able to do super chats in the future as well, which is going to give you the opportunity to send a direct message. Everyone's going to be able to see it. You can spend a couple of bucks so that way it gets, pinned at the top and everyone's able to read it and get direct attention from me for anything from questions, or if you want to tell me you like the shirt that I'm wearing today, whatever it might be, you'll be able to do those. And then all of that is going to be going towards the eBay Open cost. My projected cost, I know this sounds nuts because a lot of people are going for a lot less. The baseline minimum for most people to be able to attend is going to be about $1,200. And that's going to cover your hotel. That's going to cover your ticket, your food, your just basic expenses, maybe $1,300, $1,400 if you got your parking and everything like that, maybe $1,500 if you have a rental. The way that I'm doing it, we're looking at anywhere between $3,000 to $4,000 worth of cost. A lot of that has to do with equipment. We're going to be needing to get additional cameras. We're going to be needing to get additional backup batteries. We're going to be needing probably an extra computer to be able to handle everything that's going to be happening. New tripods. There's a lot that's going to be going into the development of this. But what I want to provide for everyone watching is an unparalleled direct experience for eBay Open 2019, unlike anything that has ever been shot in the past before. So it's going to be exceptionally comprehensive. If you care about eBay, okay, and you want to know what's happening at eBay Open, I ask that you please consider supporting what we are doing, whether that be in the future through super chats, whether that be through private donations, whether that be through our Patreon program. Your support is what is going to be able to make this better than the minimum. And I don't like doing the minimum. You guys know that. I mean, look at the setup we got now. I don't like doing the minimum. So please, I ask that you please consider helping support. As soon as monetization becomes available, where our application is pending review right now. As soon as it becomes available, we're going to have an on-screen ticker. It's going to be able to keep track of how close we are to our goal. All of the information is going to be exceptionally transparent as well, so you are going to be able to see exactly where every single dollar goes. And 100% of the money that comes in will go directly towards facilitating this experience, as well as covering the incurred costs between cameras and other stuff like that. I'm going to call you Mary because I can't pronounce your entire name. Is this directed to the masses who cannot attend? I guess that's a good way of putting it. I suppose so. There's going to be some people who just simply are going to be unable to make it, and it can be a number of reasons, anywhere from limitations to financial burdens and stuff like that. But yeah, I really want to make it so that way, if you aren't going, or if you're somebody who maybe has been curious and you've never seen what the experience is like, someone like myself, and you want that first time experience, you want to live vicariously and you want to see what that experience is like, I want to be able to provide that. So the event, it's going to be running for a handful of days. Let's see what we have. The event is running. I got to pull up my slides, guys. Sorry. The event's going to be running July 23rd, 24th, and 25th. I plan to arrive on the 22nd in the afternoon, and I will be kind of getting everything settled, getting everything, all the equipment set up and figuring out where all the events are going to be for the following day. Like I said, there's going to be a ton of prep involved, probably about 6 hours of prep on the ground before the first event even starts. The events are going to be held at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Now, if you're still thinking about attending, there's still time to get your tickets in. If you get your tickets before April 11th, you're going to receive the discounted rate. It cost $350 this year to attend a 3-day eBay Open. Now, is that a good price? I guess. I mean, there's not a whole lot of other events that you can go to that are 3 days long of this scale where you would pay that price. But I can think of a lot funner events that I would rather be at for that kind of money. $350 is very steep. If we look at what it was last year, it was $250. So we have a marked increase in price, but we're not necessarily getting more. Previous years, 2017, 2018, people who had attended the event were actually given concierge, which is generally reserved for the enterprise store level, but they gave it to people who attended eBay Open as they realized that the people who were going there were serious vendors, and not to mention there was a little bit more room within the concierge service because of changes within seller habits within the e-commerce realm. So I feel they had the ability to give that out because the staff was already on hand. On top of that, I also want to give you a little extra pro tip. eBay has a block set up, and a hotel block basically is the reserved section of rooms available for people at group sales, and everyone gets in on that block, and you're all going to get that exclusive rate. The rate is garbage, okay? I don't want to say that eBay's turning a profit on it, but they clearly didn't negotiate. They clearly didn't try to get people the best price, and this is what I tell people all the time. Like, I get that we have business partners that we work with and brands that we're working with, and that I'm, again, very thankful for eBay for being there. But some of the stuff that they're doing, I'm going to be critical of. Even though I'm going to be at that event and I'm paying to be there, I am going to slam them on everything that I see wrong about it, and I will praise them on everything I see right. And the first mistake has already happened, and we haven't even walked out the door yet, and that's the block rate. It's for the 4 nights, I was quoted at somewhere around $650. It was absurd. And I called in, and I recommend you do this too. Even if you've already made your reservations or you're thinking about making your reservations, call in, ask to speak with the M Life, that's M as in Mary Life desk, the VIP services. You can actually get your room. If you're doing the 4 nights like I am, you can save $100 off of the asking price that they're presenting to you, and you can sign up for a lower deposit. The deposit was $112 through the block for 4 nights. And the total came out to $600. Let me see what the total was. I even have notes over here off to the side so I can let you guys know. The original room rate was $607.73. I was able to get that reduced down to $505.22 just by making the reservation myself, by not using the block. And then on top of that, we went ahead and upgraded the room beyond that. So I was able to get the reduced rate, and then I upgraded the room even further. So we are going to be staying in a skybox suite, which is going to have a panoramic view of the Vegas Strip. And the reason I've done that is because I'm going to need all the horizontal space and a nice backer and furniture to be able to set up a podcast studio while we are there. And we are, of course, looking for sponsors to help fund that too. Every little bit helps, and it's all about getting this information out to you guys. I can't stress that enough. But yeah, like Mary said, just making sure that you guys can enjoy the experience as if you were there and be the first to know about these changes. Because I remember when eBay Open happened last year, I went online trying to get details and digging around, and no one was putting the details out there. But I'll tell you, give me 15 minutes after each event closes, let me put my notes together, and boom, I'm going to be going live. I don't care what building I'm in, I don't care what's happening, and you will get a report just like this of exactly what's happening at eBay Open this year. And it's going to be 3 days. It's going to be a heck of a time. So while I'm at it, Pam, if you don't mind dropping the Patreon link, if you guys haven't considered supporting the show yet, I would really, truly appreciate it with all the stuff that we have coming up as well. Because we are just barely breaking even right now, guys. This show is expensive to make. So let's take a look. I got my wrong notes out, guys. I'm looking at last week's notes. That would explain why I couldn't find what I was looking for. So when and where, rates and discounts, cost in comparison to previous year, miscellaneous details, interesting sponsors coming forward. So yeah, that's another thing I wanted to touch base on was the sponsor situation. But we'll get to that here in just a second. So here is the basic agenda of what is going to be happening for people who are showing up. If those of you who are curious and you kind of want an outline for what eBay Open includes, they're going to be doing some exclusive presentations. We're going to be taking a look at the list of those here in just one second. We're going to have workshops. They're going to be doing the parties. Everyone knows or has heard about the eBay Open party, the closing night party that they do. It's a real big party. Everyone's going to have a ton of fun. Everyone's going to get super trashed. I don't think I'm going to be getting trashed. I don't even know if I'm going to be drinking while I'm there because my work is so important. But if you see me live streaming from the party, which I probably won't do onto YouTube, I'm probably only going to do it on Facebook. The Facebook link is over here, bit.ly/Bolorama. I don't really want to put that type of content on my channel. So if you want to join our Facebook group, you'll be able to see streamed content from the eBay Open party, which I don't think has ever happened before, and I'd love to be able to bring that to you. You're going to have an opportunity to obviously to meet with other sellers. Last year they had roughly 1,100 people attend. I expect a similar amount to attend this year, and of that, I'd probably say only about 800 are actual sellers. We have other people coming there from brands and media, influencers, etc. There's going to be seller panels, so existing sellers are going to be talking about things that they do to increase their sales. I'm going to do everything in my power to get sit-down interviews with as many people as I can who are successful within the industry already, pick their brains a little bit, do some networking, and see what type of information I can bring back home to help you guys improve your brands as well. Meeting and chatting with eBay sponsors. So we are going to be sitting down. We're going to be talking with companies like 6bit. We're going to be talking with WorthPoint. We're going to be talking with the Boxery. We're going to be talking with some of these brands. If you have a brand that is a sponsor for eBay Open this year and you would like us to speak with them while I'm at the event, if you would like to see some footage produced, ask them some questions. This is going to be your opportunity to do so. You can submit your questions through the Facebook group. I will compile all of them and I will go ask on your behalf, get it on video. Like I said, this isn't just for me. This is for everyone to enjoy the experience. It says time out for your business, so you get an opportunity to step away. And then they're also going to be doing the Shine Awards, which is a way to highlight remarkable sellers on the platform who are really doing something different or doing something special, everything from benefiting their community to benefiting the platform as a whole. So these are the different categories that eBay is going to be talking about and having panels on for eBay Open 2019. And it's important to understand like why we're going and kind of get your eyes focused on the things that you want to hear about this year. So for me, there's a couple that are really, really standouts. This is just one page. There's one or two more pages coming up, but they're going to be talking about returns, eBay payments. Now returns is kind of, let's just kind of, I guess, hit them one at a time. We know that returns have been a bit of a divisive topic as of late. The industry really doesn't know exactly which direction to go when it comes to dealing with returns. Do we want to offer free returns and pass more power to the buyer, or do we want to structure things out so that way sellers have a little bit more control? And I think that the next big revolution in e-commerce is going to be taking away the consumer's ability to casually return items in the way they are. I have seen so much return abuse happening to the point where it's affecting quality sellers. And not only do we have to factor in margin of loss, okay, but it's affecting fees on the platform as a whole as companies have to offset the time and resources it costs to deal with these types of issues. Certain items like, I forgot to turn my light on over here. Usually I have a light on this shelf. That's why it's so dark right now. But I have some Magic cards back here. I have Pokemon cards as well. And when you're dealing in those types of items, we actually factor in a failure rate of anywhere between about 1.5 to 2% when we have large quantities on stuff. Basically saying we expect to get scammed for that amount of product, and we factor that into our buy, sell ratios, profit margins, and stuff like that. So when we're talking about returns, I do expect to see some type of new stuff coming to the table. Now that I think about it, I actually had an idea for Sean. I got to jot this down really quick. Video descriptions. Okay, sorry about that. So back on topic again, they're also going to be talking about eBay payments. Now, payments has been one of the most contested issues over the last 2 years now, as we've been waiting for the transition from PayPal to Adyen, which is PayPal's alternate service provider. Now, they use the phrase integrated payments all the time. Guys, it's not an integrated brand. They are not partners. They're simply trying to give the illusion of integration. I don't know why they're doing it, but boy, do I have some hard questions to ask. If I get the opportunity to speak with Devin, which I think I might, believe it or not, I might get a chance to sit down with him. And if I'm really lucky, I'll get a chance to hook up some mics and be able to speak with him on record. One of the first questions I want to ask is, what is the final percentage going to be for Audion users for the payment platform? Are we looking at a 1.5, which was, I believe, the introductory? Are we looking at the modified 1.9? Are we looking at 2.5? Or are you just going to do what PayPal's doing, and are you going to run it at 2.9% and not charge the 30 cents on top? What are we going to be doing? Roger says, bring lots of backup batteries. Yep. Believe it or not, about $150 to $200 worth of the budget is going strictly to backup power. It's insane how much power we're going to need to run the cameras that we're going to be using, even the computer that I'm going to be using while I'm there. Aaron Kluge says seller validation and authentication would curb a lot of bad actors on the platform. 100% agree. I actually just I just took a note down right now for Sean over at Prairie Grit. Again, thank you to our sponsors, Prairie Grit. Visit prairiegrit.com/free month to get 1 free month worth of selling on the platform. It's $100 value. Sell as much stuff as you want. Pay no final value fees. That's right. Sell $10,000 worth of stuff and not pay $1,000. You pay nothing. Okay, free final value freeze. It's a fantastic site. Go check it out. But I just sent him a suggestion right now. I said, how cool would it be, instead of having still images, is if we were able to upload a short video showing the item? Maybe like a 3 or 4 second video showing the item actually working, or being able to show all sides of the item to verify that it's there. That'd be kind of nice. I'd like to see that type of revolution within e-commerce as well. So yeah, I really want to know what's going to be happening with payments. I 100% am going to wake up early, make sure I get a really good seat for that event too. Roger says, whatever equipment you need to buy, you should contact those manufacturers and tell them what you are doing. You know, I just don't think that my brand is strong enough yet to really curry that type of push. I know that we can possibly sponsor out the hotel room, and we're working with a couple of brands to see if they want to do that. I might be wearing some lapel type of sponsorships as well on me someplace. We're talking with Prairie Grit, we're talking with Pirate Ship, we're talking with Jaybird, we're talking with a couple of brands to see who wants to help. But honest to God, this company was founded on patrons, and it will most likely be patron funded. Roger says this will be cool. I think it's going to be more than cool. I think it's really going to set the bar for what eBay online is going to have to be like in the future, because you guys know this already. You know, with these presentations, look at last week's show. If you missed it, I did a comprehensive breakdown on the early spring 2019 seller update, and that, not to toot my own horn, is better of a breakdown than anything I've seen eBay produce yet on any of their seller updates ever. They missed the mark when it comes to explaining things to sellers in a digestible format. So when it comes to presenting this eBay Open 2019, yeah, I really want to do it right. I really want to make it something special to where we have hundreds of people tuning in each night to learn about the future of eBay. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be really special. You can on eBay ? Nope. You cannot create a video and have it on eBay. Now, you can host a video on a platform like YouTube and link it in, but that doesn't carry any weight when it comes to doing returns. So I wish it did. That'd be really, really great. That's crazy. I need to find this out. Yeah, we got a lot going on, guys. We got a lot. Thank you for jumping in as well. I can't read that username, but I am happy to have you. Another thing too, they're going to have a seller Q&A panel. Guess who's going to be waiting in line and has a lot of really great questions? I've actually started putting my questions together. And those of you who aren't keeping track, this event is almost 4 months away. So we have 4 months to raise anywhere between $3,000 to $4,000 for this event. Again, really hoping for your guys' support on that. So yeah, the Q&A panel, if you have additional questions as well, maybe some hard-hitting questions you want to ask Devin or other CEOs, whoever's left when we get there, I would appreciate those too. The next one, handling tax on eBay. This is a major issue for a lot of people. Now, obviously, they did their partnership with Vertex to help manage taxes for sellers, but there's still a lot of gray areas and still a lot of holes within that plan that really need answers that we simply have not gotten yet. They're also going to be taking a look at inventory optimization, listing best practices, and search optimization. All fantastic things. Bravo. These are things that we need to come to the platform. Now, here's the thing. We've been very critical of eBay for a long time. Can the platform be saved? 100%. Can the platform get back to the value that it was at when PayPal was still with it? 100%. But it really depends on the direction that the platform is going to determine whether or not we, and when I say we, I mean me and you, the everyday reseller, whether or not we are going to be included in that plan moving forward. And that's one of the things that I want to know more than anything else. Are all of these changes and things that are happening, are they geared towards the retail arbitrage seller? Are they geared towards brands who have new stock that they're looking to sell? Are they geared towards the drop shipper? Or are they geared towards the everyday seller? Because if all of these changes are happening and they're not things that are going to benefit me and they're not things that are going to benefit you, what's it matter? Doesn't mean anything then. So that's what I need to know. I need to know what is the root of all these changes and who does eBay really have in mind? Do I matter to eBay? Okay, I'm not saying I got to be their special golden boy or anything, but does my input and does my necessity for the platform that I've been using for the last dozen years, does that matter to them in their vision of where they want to go in the future? On top of that, look at this last one. Heidi-dighty, a mobile app for selling. How long have we been asking for a dedicated mobile app? Years. I would kill to see something like that. But here's the problem, though. They're going to ruin it. It's not going to be good. There's no way that they're going to get this right on the first time. I guarantee you it's going to be hot garbage for at least 6 months after launch. But if it's there and I'm able to test it out, I'd be excited to be one of the first to be able to try that app out. But I'll definitely be tuning in for that and trying to get as many pictures as I can. Mindy Coy says, and raise 5K questions. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, but yeah. Roger says, I like Ecom Chicago. I'll have to check that one out. Okay, coolly. Let's take a look at our next slide here. These are some of the other things that we're going to be taking a look at. Shipping efficiency, shipping best practices, fast, free, and guaranteed. We're going to be talking about eBay shipping here in a second too. There's a little bit of controversy that's happening on with that. And I do want to hammer through some of this news too. So if you want some extended coverage on this, don't be afraid to let me know later. Shipping supplies and packing. Now, obviously eBay has their presence within the e-commerce space now when it comes to shipping supplies. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens when they roll out in India as well, because they're not going to be allowed to sell those shipping supplies to people in India because of India's new trade laws that are coming up. Then we also have got seller protections. Could always use more of those. Optimizing best offer, which we did talk about in the last show, which again, to increase conversions. We went into great detail about that. And I also talked with one of the other admins of a group, and I don't want to, shots fired or anything, but they have a watch 3, and then post your link, and then people can watch each other's listings. Stop doing that, guys. Okay. It's really, really bad to do that. Increasing watchers on your listings, sure, it can potentially increase your organic reach on the site, but only when it actually means something, okay? eBay isn't stupid. They can tell how long people actually stay on the site. They can tell when people are abusing the analytics to try and increase watchers. And the worst thing of it all is with the new offer system and the direct email system that they are using is if you have 100 watchers on your item and you're trying to push out an email to the people who are potentially going to buy it, you're only diluting your buyer pool down and lowering the quality and the functionality of that tool. Don't tell people to watch your listings unless they actually plan on buying the item. You're going to hurt yourself, especially with the new changes that are coming up here in the future. What else do we have going on? Marketing tab, promoted listings, promotions, and markdown manager. I don't really care much about that. They've already updated that about 6 to 9 months ago to a new system, like the new backend. Unless there's something special happening with it, I don't care. They're going to be changing Seller Hub. Again, please just leave it how it is. I think it's fine right now. Pricing, competitive price analysis, and TerraPeak data. That one I'm certainly going to be sitting in for. I'm going to sit in for as many as I can. It's going to be really boring at certain points, but this is what I'm getting paid to do, hopefully getting paid to do. I'll get out there and get all that information for you guys. But yeah, pricing, competitive price analysis, Terapeak data. I look forward to seeing that one. And then here's the last of the stuff, mobile app for selling, social media for beginners. I'll probably sit out on that one. I can produce a video for you guys on that. External marketing, advanced social media. I may jump in for that one because I know Mindy and Pam, probably even Roger, maybe even Sean, there might be some information that may benefit some of us there. Small business best practices, vertical specific best practices, which is probably going to be an interesting one to sit in on as well. Photography best practices. I would love to see their official take on photography, and listing policies. So that's quite a few of them. And then what I wanted to do too is I also want to take a look at their sponsors for this year. Now keep in mind the list is not finalized. There's still going to be more sponsors coming to the table, but I kind of found it a little bit interesting. There was a handful of sponsors that I wasn't expecting. First one, obviously the big one right above my head, FedEx. FedEx is sponsoring eBay Open this year. Now, there have been some back-end rumors that FedEx may be working a deal with eBay to try and offer an alternative to first class. That is, we have to call it a rumor, okay? So, allegedly. So, keep your ears open for that. That would be really interesting if that did happen. It would really rock the space. My perception of what may happen is that we may see some type of first class flat rate alternative come to the table, where we may see some very specific sized package pinned at about the $5 price point for anywhere in America. So keep your eyes open for that. It would be nice to see an alternative to USPS really step up and make some things happen. On top of that, we obviously have Pitney Bowes, many time over sponsor for the event. I think 10 times now, 10 or 15 times. They're the back end for eBay's internal shipping. And then there was a couple others that I found to be interesting. One of them was WorthPoint. WorthPoint is a direct competitor to Terapeak. Now, obviously, they offer a slightly different service, but WorthPoint is definitely going to be bleeding money now that Terapeak is something that's going to be offered via eBay for basic plus sellers. So interesting. And then we also have 6bit as well, which is a company that I've been meaning to sit down and speak with in person. And they do a lot of back-end logistics integration for sellers, so that way you can list outside of primary platforms, whether that be eBay, and I think they have integration with a few others, but I don't want to say 100%. Roger says, pushing me out of eBay returns are crazy. 90% are used items. Yep. It's getting a little bit nasty out there right now for returns. I actually had to deal with 2 $100 returns this week, and I watched both of them get shipped to my old house, and I still had to pay for both of the returns because eBay served up the wrong address to the people. So that's something I'm going to have to deal with a little bit later today. So that's all of your eBay 2019 coverage, and I also wanted to throw out a couple other little small tidbits. You don't have to stay at Mandalay Bay. If you do stay at Mandalay Bay, that's a $100 per night deposit that they're going to ding you for, so make sure you have enough money inside of your account. You can park on property. It's going to cost you anywhere between $15 to $30 per day, whether you parked your car yourself or not, and that's good for a 24-hour period. There are plenty of comps to be had. If you are going to be there and you are going to gamble, use your MLife card, and you can actually receive a discounted price at checkout. And you can also get comps for things like food. I have a stack of comps on hand. Everything from free play to food to drinks to shows. I have this app that I've been using. It's the Pop Slots app, and I've been using it on and off for well over a year. So if you need a comp while you're there, you need something, you see me in person, you say, hey, Jay, let me get a buffet, I can help you out with that. No questions, no qualms, nothing. I even have a comp for a helicopter ride over the Grand Canyon, which I may or may not use. I don't know. And I know some people were talking about wanting to do the zipline experience, so I might do that too. I'm going to try and find some free time for myself. I may stay an extra day, but I'm already set to be there for 5 days. And I don't know if it's always in Vegas. I just know the last couple of years for sure have been in Vegas. So yeah, definitely consider using the Pop Slots app. And then there's also 3 other games too that are linked to that. And it's the My Vegas. Just type in My Vegas in the App Store and it'll pull up all the apps that qualify. You can earn those points, and then those points can be redeemed at the actual casino or through your phone for real discounts, including free basic accommodations at Mandalay Bay. Now, obviously, the rooms are going to get booked up pretty quick. It's going to take a while to accrue some points, but I strongly recommend use your MLife card, get those discounts, consider using the app, get even more discounts on stuff as well. But yeah, that's everything you need to know about eBay Open. If you have any more questions, I read the entirety of the terms of services. I can answer any question that you may have regarding that. But we're going to move on to our next story. It's a little bit more of a lighthearted one. Amazon moms, known as Mamazonians, are seeking daycare. Apparently, 1,500 women want the company to provide backup daycare when regular childcare arrangements fall through. And this is according to Bloomberg News. The Mamazonians are appealing to the chief executive offer, Mr. Bezos himself, for daycare that could help parents and the company when school closures, flu outbreaks, and other emergencies arise. Bloomberg reviewed emails that showed the group of working moms has been collecting anecdotal evidence that purports to show the lack of daycare support has hurt the careers of talented women who might otherwise be promoted. The Mamazonians are scheduled to meet with senior managements in the coming weeks to plead their case. In addition to asking for backup daycare, the women will ask human resources to start collecting data about daycare challenges via interviews with incoming and departing employees. And Amazon's official response to this time is at Amazon, everyone, regardless of their position, level, or tenure, has access to the same benefits. There are no tiers, and no employee is more important than another. The company said, when creating benefits, we focus on efforts that can scale to help the largest number of individuals and work in partnership with our employees to ensure that what we are building offers meaningful support. Very interesting article to come out. And, I thought I would throw something a little more relaxed in because everything we talk about is very, 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 very tightly wound, it seems. We talk about financial news. We talk about, the bell curves on stock prices and other nonsense. So I thought I'd throw something a little bit fun in. I'm going to try and include at least one of those every week. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that the Amazon mom should get their way and there should be some type of daycare in the building? Or do you feel that that's on the responsibility of the mother to make sure that she has backup arrangements in the event that something happens? Let me know in the comments. I'm not gonna throw out my opinion on this one. I love it. Go get them, Mamazonians. Rachel says, if we can't even trust Amazon to ship our items well, can you imagine trusting them with your kids? Yeah, you might end up picking up your kid and have the wrong one handed to you, and then have to deal with a lengthy return process to make sure you get the correct child returned to you. So now, jumping from something a little bit lighthearted, we have another slide here for you, and I have to specify this was provided to me by an anonymous source. Okay, please do not make any assumptions in the comments as to where you think it may be coming from. I can assure you it's no one that we've talked about before on air. Okay, so this is an anonymous information that came in to me, and I'm simply sharing it with you. This has not been officially verified, but this is the first that I've heard of this. It's something that we've talked about a little bit before in the past. So again, please understand, this is just what I've heard as of now. eBay shipping discounts could cost you. There's been a little bit of conjecture and a little bit of rumors going on about eBay's discounted pricing. Now remember, we've talked about shipping pricing before in the past, and we've talked about how eBay's prices have recently gotten cheaper than other competitors online. We're talking about Stamps, we're talking about FitShip, we're talking about Pirate, we're talking about all competitors across the board. Somehow eBay's prices have been 3% cheaper on USPS Priority and USPS Flat Rate. How? And when we talked about this last about a month ago, I had come to you and I said, the impression that I had received based on the information that I was given is that they had negotiated new rates with USPS based on volume. Now, I know of other companies that are doing more volume than eBay. As crazy as that may sound, eBay is not the kingpin when it comes to USPS. They're frankly not even close at this point. And you'd think they would be, but they're really not, because you have to remember how many of their packages are international packages where USPS is only getting the last hands on it and they're not making much money. Think about e-packets. So eBay may be moving a lot of volume, but they are far, far from the top here domestically. So when I heard that they got better rates, I was really, really surprised. Well, the rumor is that eBay may not actually have those better rates and that they may actually be offering those rates internally which means that they're taking a loss on their shipping. Why would they do that though? Well, I think the idea is that they were losing too much market share on their shipping and that they're trying to wrangle people back in. Now, with some of the data that I have been able to see, I've actually seen these types of transitions where buyers are heading back to eBay to start shipping there, opposed to using cheaper and free alternatives to be able to do their shipping. Well, rumor is that they might be getting in trouble for this, and that there's a chance that sellers may have to pay back the shipping discount that they've received. We'll have more information on this over the next coming weeks and potentially months, and I'll be able to keep you guys informed as to exactly what's happening, but it's a little bit crazy right now because you have to remember, shipping isn't something that I can just go sell. I can't decide, oh, you know what, I want to go sell, first class shipping to people, make a couple of bucks. No, not at all. Shipping is a federally regulated commodity. Okay, and there's rules that you have to play by, and you can't violate trade laws on a regulated good like that. So there's a chance that somebody could get in a little bit of trouble. And I talked with somebody else about it, and they said, well, eBay is just going to go ahead and pay that. Well, I don't know. eBay has screwed up on bills before, and they've made sellers jump back in and pay for their errors in the past. I don't necessarily believe that eBay would just swallow this loss and carry on with the day. Let's see. It will be deals, items in the app most likely. What else we got here? OMG. Yep. So yeah, be careful, and yeah, definitely protecting my sources. I appreciate the 2 different sources that came forward with information. If you have the hidden scoop on a story that you'd like me to cover, let me know. I'm really interested in it. So now every single episode that we do, while I'm here, I like to go over some of the items that I got during the week. This week, finally, the sun decided to come out over the weekend, and I was able to visit the Bakersfield swap meet. Did I crush it? Maybe. I'm kind of pleased with my items. We got about a half hour to take a look at some stuff. So we're going to take a look at everything that I got this week, and I'm going to tell you what I paid, what I think I'm going to get for it, what you should know when you're buying that item, and feel free to ask your questions in the comments. So, yeah, it was good. I think I spent maybe a total of $48 at the swap meet this week, $52 at the swap meet this week, which included my admission, which included I think I got some snacks while I was there. I spent like $3 on snacks, and then the rest of it went to inventory. So we're going to go through everything one at a time, and it wouldn't be the reseller roundup if I didn't start out with a little bit of plush action. I didn't know he made noise. So this is the grandpa from a show called Abuelita, I believe. Baby Abuelita. And it's a Mexican or Hispanic cartoon. And I picked him up. He is worth a surprising amount. He sells on average anywhere between $30 and $40. And I had no clue he made noise, so I'm super happy about that. Pick this guy up for $1. He's just going to need some real light spot cleaning. His glasses are coming off a little bit on the side. I may throw an extra stitching on through there, but don't discount plush, guys. If you see a plush that looks like some effort went into it, if it's something you don't recognize, pick it up, look it up. They almost always have tags on them. The information's right there. That's all you have to do is grab the tag and look the bad boy up. Paid $1. Gonna make some bucks on it. I picked this up too. This is a starter hat. Whenever I see hats that are brand new with the tag, I gotta stop. I gotta look them up. This is a Coca-Cola Monsters of the Gridiron hat. Not a super valuable hat, but it consistently sells. On the low end, it's about $12, which is fine because it's a 3 ounce, maybe 6 ounce after it's boxed. And then on the high end, it gets as high as $19.99. Can't complain. Pick this up for 50 cents. Great little 50-cent pickup. Rusty Raccoon says, the skin on the screen is amazing. Looks high tech. I have no clue what you mean. I don't know if that's a compliment. I'm a little lost. Are you referring just like the overall camera quality and the resolution? I feel a little shiny because of all the lights right now. Dr. Jan Simpson says, may I ask where you're located? I'm surprised that you mentioned Bakersfield. I'm in Fresno. Believe it or not, I just moved to Bakersfield. Let me fix this lighting even more. I just moved from Fresno to Bakersfield. I used to do the Sunnyside swap meet all the time. 2 weeks ago, I was just out there picking that area, and I'm probably going to be back out there again this Friday. I love sourcing at the Sunnyside swap meet, and now I'm just sourcing it whatever the heck the Bakersfield swap meet is called. It's a very generic one. Watch Advanced Social Media Marketing one for sure. Roger, you must be in the past. Make sure you click that live button once you hear this. It'll get you caught up with all of us. Stone Throw says, now they wear them with the tags, may not be brand new. I think it's a brand new. I think it's an authentic period tag. And if you haven't seen Key and Peele's Hat Battle on YouTube, I strongly recommend you check it out. It's a very, very funny sketch. I can't air it on here, but you definitely want to check that out. What else do we got? This was kind of cool. I picked this up and 2 other items from the same lady. This is a 3-way faucet sprayer. This is for washing your doggo. Look how cute that dog looks sitting in the sink like that. Looks like he just got up to no good, but the mother seems very pleased that she gets to shower him right now. But this 3-way faucet, it's brand new in the packaging. I could see the binding here on the side. I always love seeing that. Sometimes the packaging is going to be a little bit roughed up, but I paid $3 for this, and it sells on average for about $34 on Amazon. Gross profits of around $26. Great little pickup on a new item. Definitely want to make sure you're cleared to sell those items too. Let's see. Let me catch on comments while I'm pulling out the next item. Rusty Raccoon says Sunday reseller roundup in the text above your head, has the chat on screen, has the sponsor listed, and scrolling advertisement on the bottom. Called it you mean the overlay. Okay. So what I'm using is OBS, and this whole thing around me is an overlay. So that's why I didn't understand. Roger, you are still in the past. You got to click on that. You must have paused at some point, Roger. Up next, we've got a Fitlizer. This is a roller. You guys know what I mean when I say fitness rollers. Yeah, this roller right here, I picked it up. The person had opened the box already, and they had the item laid out. This is about a $40 roller, and I think it has a massager built into it as well. It still has the shrink wrap on it. There's a small chance I may keep this. And Rusted, what was I going to tell you? So this overlay, I actually custom made the overlay myself. I do all my own graphics here. If you need any help with graphics, let me know. We got a bunch of different overlays and transitions. We had a brand new intro one that I rolled this before the show. Definitely check it out. But if you need a hand, just let me know. Let me get this light fixed again. There we go. Sorry, my camera likes to kind of futs out when I show different colors on screen. But yeah, these are great if you have a sore back. Now, I want to tell you guys what I did when I got this, because as soon as I saw it, I'm like, man, I could really benefit from this. And the travel bag is in there too, as well as the instruction manual. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, man, I could really benefit from this. And this was another one of those people that had brand new Amazon stuff. They had just a whole little tarp down on the ground. They had piles of stuff. And I said, I really want to get a good deal on this. I don't want to pay up for it. And I can't tell you the value of being shocked when somebody gives you a price. I don't care what the price is. Practice doing this. I want somebody to just tell you, okay, right now, Mindy, tell me how much this cost. Okay, I want to see your comment. How much does this cost, Mindy? And I'm going to show you my best shocked face. Okay, because your response when you hear the item's price is going to give you so much power when it comes to the negotiation process when you're dealing with the people out at the swap meet. $65? That's what I'm talking about. That type of shock. And you know how much she told me? She told me $5. She said, I'm like, how much is it? $5? I'm like, and I gave her that look right there. Like, she was just wacko. She was a nut job to even imply that anyone could reasonably be willing to spend $5 on this. Now, $5 is a great price, mind you, but you need to be like, what's wrong with this person? How dare they? Who do they think I am that I'm going to pay $5 for this? I gave her that face. And you know what she does? She negotiates with herself. This is what I'm talking about. Allow people to negotiate against themselves. She's like, well, I could do like $3. I'm like, and then I give her the head shake. The head shake is a great, like, you know, because you can look at somebody, you can give them this, or you can give them, you know, that in between, I'm unsure. Now keep in mind, okay, I still haven't given her a counter price yet. I haven't said anything back yet. I've said no words at this point beyond how much are you asking? She says $5. Get the shock face. She looks at me. She's like, well, I could probably do $3. I give her the head bob. She's like, well, would you do $2? And okay, I can do $2. The silent negotiation, all, what do they call it? Metaverbal, you know, all metaverbal, just full body communication, full acting the whole way through and through. And I paid $2 for this bad boy. Retails anywhere between $30 to $40 depending on where you buy it. The center core comes out. I think there's a massager inside of it, so I'm really excited about taking a look at this. Thank you, Jan. Yeah, but that's what I tell people. You got to have fun. You got to enjoy the process. I stopped and I talked with them too, and I said, hey, how long have you guys been doing this? I said, first pallet. It's our first time out here. I said, great. Are you guys enjoying it? They're like, yeah. I'm like, you guys making good money? They're like, yeah. I'm like, how much did you pay for your pallet? They told me $400. And I'm like, did you guys double up pretty quick? And they're like, oh yeah, we're definitely going to buy another pallet. We're definitely going to be out here again. Great. And I'm happy. That's what I want to see. I want to see people being able to make money, being able to enjoy themselves, and just have things work the way that they're supposed to work for them, and then me be able to make my bucks and other customers be able to get the things that they want to get too. So great little pickup. And again, always to the patrons, if you see something you like, let me know. Also, we're having a little instability in the internet right now. I'm seeing it's probably because of the length of the stream. If it drops out on you, I apologize. Just refresh your browser and we'll come right back for you, okay? Next up, I have an item. This is for a patron if they want it. I picked it up specifically to be able to give it away because the price was so good on it. This was the exact same lady again. It's going to be a little loud, so I'm going to open it over here. It's in plastic. Here, I'm going to... There we go. Unmute the microphone. This is a brand new scarf. I wanted to show you in the plastic. Look how pretty this is. Brand new. Nice blue color, really good knit quality to it. Has a real good weight, it's probably about 3/4 of a pound. It's like a scarf or some type of shawl, really soft material. If you want this, I got this for $1, but I thought one of the patrons may appreciate something like this, and I'll ship it out to you. If not, you know, I'll list it on eBay. I'll make like 15 bucks for it or whatnot. TARDIS blue. It could be close. If you want it, Mindy, I'll send it out to you. I got no problem. Any patron who wants it, you'll get it for free. And you know, if a patron doesn't, if somebody else wants it, you just pay the $1 plus shipping and I'll send it out to you. But it just felt like too good of a value to leave behind. And even if it may not be for eBay, I knew somebody out there could benefit from it. Now that same lady that I bought that shower thing for the doggo, I also bought this. This is a First Alert digital display carbon monoxide alarm. These are restricted on Amazon for new, but there's tons of them available for used. Everyone's doing the same thing. New in packaging, being sold as new. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Good money to be made on those too. I think this sells for around $25 to $30 on Amazon, depending on the market and the climate at the time. Let me see. Is anyone having any issues with lag? I'm seeing my bitrate jumping all over the place. I'm just going to bump Daniel real quick and see if he's juicing the net right now, because I don't want to have the stream crash. You're using the net. Okay, and we're going to take a look at a few more items right now. So this is a first for me. Never have I ever thrifted one of these. Never have I ever seen one of these at a swap meet. Never did I even think that I would bump into one of these. Okay. Here, I'll show you this. You want to take any guesses as to what you think it might be? I'll give you like 3 seconds to try and figure this out. Because when I saw this from the top, I said, what the heck is that? And Aaron says, shut down the Fortnite streams, but we have to get that epic victory royale though. So it's a little bit of a dilemma. And I'm happy to see that you're not having issues. A timer is correct, Ito Ramos. I'm going to give you the nod on that. Well done, and good to see you, Ito. I haven't heard from you in quite a while. This is the Ring to Cage. This is for like boxing or wrestling or MMA. This is an official timer to be able to, run the lights and run the events. One of these, I've been eyeing those. If you're looking to buy this, I'll be happy to sell it to you. I know that... I'm sorry, guys. I just noticed my stream crashed right now. I'm just going to let that catch up real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry about that stream crashing, but yeah, if you are still back, yeah, if you're interested in this, Ito, just send me a DM on Facebook. These sell brand new for about $140. I don't see any used on eBay. I was planning on asking about $100. So this can, yeah, it could be yours, Ito, if you're interested in. I'll drop ship it out to you and get it in your hands ASAP. Even offer you a little bit of a discount if you'd like. But if it's going to eBay, it's going on there for about $100. Again, terribly sorry for the lag. I am watching it lag out a little bit on my end. Let me see if there's anything that I can do to try and help things out. And Roger is way behind right now. I'm going to attempt to lower my bit rate on my output, see if that helps the computer out a little bit, make it a little bit easier for it to keep up. So give me just 1 second as we adjust a few settings real quick. Okay, that looks a little more stable. Everyone's still there? We still good? We rocking and rolling? We might have a little bit of lag here on this end. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Looks like we may have resolved the issue. McDuty says, you just negotiated yourself. Well, Ito is he used to be a former client of mine at a game store that I owned in Fresno. We go back years and years and years. It's more like I'm giving him a little bit of a homie rate. So, yeah. But I totally see what you're saying there. I agree. Maybe I should try and hit him with full price first. I got this. Isn't this cute as all heck? Do you guys know what this is? This is a Hallmark guy. Look at these.
Nobody pops popcorn like you. This is perfect. That's because I take it out before that last pop. You don't let it sit there. And your popcorn popping principles are unparalleled. You just fit in my popcorn. I'm sorry. I asked for extra salt.
They're so cute. But yeah, these are Hallmark characters. I think this couch setup is worth maybe $25. I've seen it before online. I didn't do any research before I bought it because I was able to pick it up for $1. Yeah, and uses magnets to be able to trigger them when they go off, and it also has a special... I love their laugh. It also has another button you can press on the side to be able to hear some of the other effects as well. So what do we got going on? You got all of those from the same Amazon pallet lady. Actually, a couple of different people. So this was across the entire day of the swap meet. So the doggy shower head, the carbon monoxide filter, and the ring timer came from one specific lady. And then the roller and the Amazon, or the roller and the scarf came from a different lady. Now, the person that I got that couch from, I also got this. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I've really pulled back on buying Build-A-Bear. Like, really pulled back. The market is hyper-saturated, and I tell people be very careful before you buy anything Build-A-Bear right now. But I was able to find this one. The reason why I took this one is because I've never seen this outfit. It's a very old outfit, and it has the original price tag on the outfit, which is something I rarely see. It even has the original sticker here to be able to press to make the I love you sound. I haven't seen this outfit. I think I could probably get maybe $15 to $20 for it as the season starts approaching. Kind of hard to say, but I picked this up for like $2, so I cannot complain. Yeah, it is a super cute one, and it is a very old style. So if you're interested in it, let me know. I can ship it out to you for a fair price, especially if you're a patron, you can pay my cost. Oh, you know what it was? It was negotiated down to $2, and then the daughter came over to collect the money because I had negotiated with the parent, and when I realized that the money was going to the girl so that she could go buy more toys, I went ahead and paid the $3 original asking price because I don't need the dollar that bad to where I'm literally taking a child or a toy out of a child's hand. So I went ahead and paid the $3 for it, which sometimes you just do the right thing, which we'll talk here about in a second. I picked up another Wii controller with the Motion Adapter Plus. If you haven't seen my Wii buying guide, it's on my channel. Check that out. I'll get $15+ for this. And at $1, it's not a bad buy. I'll make enough to cover a lunch. And then I have to do a little more research on this. This is some type of in and out. I believe it's an MP3 player. I paid 50 cents for this. It could be worth some money. It might not be worth anything, but at 50 cents, when I wasn't able to find a comp, I went ahead and pulled the trigger on it. Maybe someday it might be considered some type of collectible goodie. Maybe that day is now. I don't know. At 50 cents, I couldn't complain. And then last, we got a couple of things here. I've got to move my stuff around. Now, admittedly, I probably should have done a little more work to get you some more information about this stuff, but I just didn't, okay? It's been a busy week. We got a lot going on, a lot of news to cover. I have this massive box of records. This is probably about 50 pounds worth of records, including, I also picked up this really awesome Dolly art book, and I love art books right now. So one of my side projects is working with an artist on eBay, and anytime I can look at some stuff like this, get some inspiration for some pieces. I paid $1 for this. Holy cow. You can't even buy one of his prints in, you know, a reasonable size for $1. So very happy about getting that. And the same guy who I bought that from also had all of these records. Now, here's the thing. I usually don't buy records. And the reason is that the vinyl market isn't super hot right now. I mean, obviously it's up further than where it was 5 or 10 years ago, and that has more to do with hipsters and new collectors coming to the arena, but it's not at the focal point of everyone's attention as far as collectible goods are concerned. And usually when I see records, I see the same exact records over and over and over again. What am I talking about? I'm talking about like really worthless children's records, really worthless song compilations, religious material, just and then artists that are hyper mass produced. That's all I see. Every time I go to the thrift store, I never see anything different. This time, I saw some unique stuff. And I'm there and I'm looking through the pile and I asked the guy, I'm like, hey, how much is everything? And I want you to know, I scanned these with my Amazon app. I did the front scan. I went into them. Some of the ranks aren't sexy, you know, anywhere from $500,000 up to 1.5 million. That's the nature of records. That's fine. So I looked up this one first. This is the Anthology of Indian Music Volume 1. Look how pretty this is. Do you guys see this stuff when you go out looking for records? I never see this stuff. I looked this one up. It's about $30. I'm like, okay, that's not bad. I can deal with that one. And then I pull out one of these ones. Look at this. This is Bach Brandenburg Concertos. And yeah, this one came out to about $20 or $30 as well. I'm like, okay, great. I'm kind of in the money right now. And then... not that one. I think it was this one. Running out of space here, guys. This is Beethoven's Symphony No. 9, and it's on vinyl. And I believe this one was around $20 as well. So once I had that information, I'm like, okay, 20, 20, 30. We got about $70 worth of value here. I look over at the guy and I say, hey, how much do you want for all of this? Like, cut me a deal. And he looked at me like I was crazy. Like, no one in their right mind would be interested in buying all of these records, which is great for me. And he said the best he could do was 50 cents a piece. I went through and I counted them out. It was about 45 to 50 records. And I said, let me just give you $20. He's like, oh, no. I'm like, dude, let me give you $20. I'm already, I had to walk almost a quarter mile to get back to my car. This swap meet is stupid big and the parking lot is huge. It was a very, very long walk back with this 50 pounds, which I literally had to stop twice, rested against a bench, shake my arms out, and then continue on. He went ahead and sold them to me for $20 because he knew he wasn't going to want to deal with them. And then the next one that I saw on the stack was this one right here. And now I haven't even looked this one up. This is Marn Ling Sees the Chinese Lion Dance. These are Chinese songs to sing and dance to. Okay, when do you see records like this? I never see them, ever. And like I said, I haven't looked up anything else in the box yet. If you're somebody who's big into records and you're interested in seeing what else is in here, by all means, let me know. I'll pull out a few more for you right now. I don't want to spend the last of the show going through that, but I'll show you a few more just because I think it's super interesting. I love seeing some of the artwork. Sarangi, the Voice of the 100 Colors. This looks like another Indian record here. Ravi Shankar, Ali Akbar. The Non-Such Explorer, Music from the Distant Corners of the Earth. Yeah, there's just some really, really interesting and different stuff that I've never seen before. The Sound of the Sitar, another Ravi Shankar. Yeah, if any of these look familiar to you, I mean, let me know. We'll take a look at a few more. And honest to God, I did not go through the rest of the stack. It really wasn't worth it to me. Leo, what is that? Kottke? Ice Water? And I haven't even really... They all have their paper sleeves with them too. The records look like they're in fine shape. Another Leo one. That's just creepy looking. And another Leo. So I'm going to get these out of the way. If you want to see the rest of the records that are here, join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Bolorama, and I can post up an image of the rest of these. I can post up the rest of them for you if you really want to see them, but they will also be showing up on my eBay store as well as my Prairie Grit store. I may just run them to Prairie Grit just because I don't have to pay final value fees, so it's going to save me some bucks. And I have a handful of items like that. The items that I know that are going to be going in the $40, $50, $60, $70 range, there's really no reason to put them on eBay because people are finding my items through Google, so I may as well put them on Prairie Grid and let them sell there. So let's see. Thank you for posting those links, Pam. Guys, I got another box here. It's an interesting one. So, my friend and supporter of the show, his name is Joe. And Joe decided to go ahead and gift me an Amazon gift card to help support the show. And this was maybe, I don't know, like 2 months ago. And this was obviously before the eBay opener. I would have applied it to something for the eBay open. I said, you know what? I'm just going to buy something for me. And I didn't really need equipment at the time, so it hadn't really crossed my mind. So I went ahead and bought something off Amazon. He doesn't know what it is. He doesn't even know that I'm going to be talking about it on air, but I felt it would be best to wait till I was on air to go ahead and open it. He sent $30 into the show. LOL, Ravi is Nora Jones' biological dad. Leo is 12-string guitar folk. Cool. And then, oh geez, I have a large flat rate box filled with old 50s records and I have no idea what to do with them. Scan them all and see what's worth what, and get to listing if you have the opportunity to. So I'm going to crack this open for you guys right now. I haven't opened this yet. I've been waiting for this. I've been a little bit eager to get into this, but like I said, I was going to do the nice thing and wait. So what I ordered, a box in a box. It's a Square Dino brand snack box. I ordered a box of Japanese snacks. I know, it seems ridiculous. It seems absurd. It has nothing to do with reselling, but it's something that I wanted. And I just wanted to say thank you again to Joe for supporting the show, for getting this for me. And you know what's really crazy? Here's the thing, okay? This was shipped to me via Amazon, and it was a box in a box. Look how smashed this corner is, okay? If I was the end consumer and this is how my product showed up, I'd be heated. And you know what's even worse? Look at the external box. They ask you when you have an issue, and I don't want to make this about anything other than what it is. Again, I appreciate Joe for what he did, but look at the external box. The external box is completely fine. There's nothing wrong with it, which means somebody at the warehouse dropped this square on its corner, wrecked the corner, and then went ahead and threw it in the box anyways. So let's see what we got here. It's supposed to be a nice little variety box. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. I am pretty excited about this. So we got a whole bunch of different snacks in here. We got some chocolates, we got some candies. There's even sodas in here. Holy cow. I was expecting that there might be some ramen. You know, when I'm looking for a refreshing beverage on the go, something that's truly going to hit the spot and make me thankful for the purchases I made, I immediately want yogurt-flavored white cream cola. Delish. Let's see what else we got. We got some cat snacks, cat-shaped snacks. There's another beverage in here too. That's kind of what I'm fishing for. Oh, Milky's. I've actually heard of the Milky's brand before. This is a strawberry-flavored one. We got some lychee. If you've never had lychee, it's kind of a jelly-based snack. Those of you who don't know, I'm almost half Chinese, so some of this stuff I grew up with as a kid, so it's kind of cool to see it again. We got a little mini choco pies. Looks like it's matcha flavor in there as well. It came with some chopsticks. I don't know if there's anything in here I'm actually going to need chopsticks to eat. Yogurt jelly. Some little biscuit snacks. There's all kinds of stuff in here. We got some hot chili snacks. Oh, there is actually some ramen in here too. More hot chicken flavored ramen. And some hazelnut snacks too. So a little bit of everything. I'm really pleased. Thank you again to Joe for sending this in. I will be eating some of these snacks on the next show. I'm going to tell you that right now. We got another show coming up in just 30 minutes on this channel. We're not done here yet though. We're almost done. But if you enjoy me and you haven't done so yet, guys, do me a favor. Click that subscribe button. I mean, I can leave this up for the rest of the show. I really don't want to, but all you gotta do is just click subscribe. You know, the moment you're subscribed, this button will disappear. So just awesome. Thank you so much for subscribing. And if you haven't done so yet, look at my buttons are even broken right now. I can't even get them to work. What is going on? Let me see if I can. I think we're juicing the. It's not handling. Oh yeah, it's not happy with me at all right now. So if you haven't done so yet, like the video, subscribe to the channel, help us out. But I will be eating these snacks on the next show. We're going to be doing the late show with Jason and Jay in just 30 minutes. But before I let you guys go, I've got final thoughts for you. Okay, this is an important one for me. Okay, I want to take a moment and I want to talk with you guys about the importance of moving forward within your business. Man, the number of people that I run into that have these wonderful ideas or these massive ambitions and these thoughts of grandeur and what they'd like to do next. It's huge. The number of people that just DM me with these great ideas and these beliefs, but it never follows through. And it's very frustrating for me to pour my time and energy into somebody who isn't willing to commit to something. And I understand sometimes things happen in life, but I just wanted to just take a moment and tell everyone, like, if you've got an idea and you got something that you woke up and you felt super, super passionate about and you believe is truly going to work, don't let somebody else tell you that it's not going to happen. Okay? When I first started this channel and I did the YouTube and I did the Patreon and I did all of those things, I had a handful of people come to me and say it was stupid. People said, nah, they can just get that information online. And I said, well, the newspaper's a thing and it's still around. They said, well, people aren't going to pay you, to keep a show that you're making on the air. And I said, well, maybe they'll find value in what I'm doing. Maybe they'll see something else there and something that's going to work for them. And maybe they'll want to do it. And I stuck to it because I believed in it. And it was about 2 years in before I actually made a profit, made a buck doing this gig for you guys. And I just want to say, if you have an idea or a dream or a belief or something that you want to do, see it through. Don't just talk about doing it. I've met people recently say, oh man, I really want to go try rock climbing sometime. Cool. Go do it. It's $20. Go to your local gym. Give it a shot. Even if you suck, you can say you at least tried. Have something to hang your hat on today. Oh, I've thought about selling on Amazon, but, I just don't know where to get started. Start by doing it. Go make the Amazon account. Go take that first step. Make those things happen. Stop sitting on the sidelines. If there's something that you want to do, go give it a try. Shit, even if you need my help and you say, oh yeah, I want to do this, I don't even have the money for it, it's going to cost me like $20. Let me know. I'll send you $20. I don't care. Don't let little things be the reason why you don't do big things in your life. If you believe in your idea, see it all the way through and through. This week, my channel reached the coveted mark of 1,000 subscribers. And I was really tempted to make a 1,000 subscriber video thanking everyone who helped me get here. But I realized that that probably isn't the best thing to do because I'm not known really for my pre-recorded content. I'm known for the Sunday Reseller Roundup, this show that I've been doing. So I found it very fitting to go ahead and do my thank you here. I don't have any notes. I don't have a list of names. It's all stored up in here, the people that I appreciate the most. Starting from the very beginning, the people who were with me early on. Mindy, Pam, Georgia, all of you, Rachel, all of the early patrons, everyone who's there day one who said, yeah, this is going to work. And I know there's more of you. I could list every single patron right now. We got Miguel. We even have Roger as of recent. We have almost 30 patrons now who have believed in the idea of what I'm doing and want to see the future and want to make this a reality. And I personally want to thank every single one of you. It means a lot to me that this someday may be my day job, to be able to provide you with fact-based information, e-commerce news, and a dash of entertainment on top. I also want to thank all the sponsors that have been with me throughout the entire process. Pirate Ship, Jaybird was there for a bit, Prairie Grit, and Amazon UPC Barcodes, the 4 sponsors that we've had. I also want to thank the people who have reached out to me personally as friends. Chris Roberts, Rachel, even Pam and Mindy as well, as well as a handful of the other patrons too. Thank you to all of you who believed in this vision and where we're going and where we're at now. It's been a really, really fun run. And I know now that we're getting to this point, we're going to continue to grow. And 1,000 was the longest grind ever. And we'll be having this talk about 10,000. I'm going to say within the next 6 months. I can see it happening. But I will not forget those of you who were there in the beginning and those of you who are still here with me now. Thank you so much for watching this Sunday's Reseller Roundup for March 10th, 2019. I will be back on air in 25 minutes for the Late Late Show with Jason and Jay. And remember, guys, if you don't make that money, someone else will. I'll see you very soon. Well, hello to you. Thank you for coming to my brand new outro. Those of you who don't know, I am not the best at editing, so we have this green screen and we're gonna make the best of it. So away we go. Whoa, isn't that exciting? Look where we're going. Wow, we've ended up here. So yeah, the whole purpose of this outro is to be able to say thank you to you, the people who help support this program. So thank you to our base level patrons. I truly appreciate it. Whoa, we're going someplace new now. Holy cow, look where we are now. Thank you to our next level of patrons. I really appreciate it. We got one more stop to go. Will anyone be there? Let's go. Here we are. Hey, look at that. Thank you.